Hello and welcome back to some more exclusive Jurassic World Evolution 3 gameplay. I know we've been treated so nicely by Frontier recently, and we got to go to their offices I think maybe a couple weeks ago, and we got to play Jurassic World Evolution 3 a lot more. We were thinking maybe we'd get like 30 minutes or 1 hour of gameplay maximum, but I think we ended up playing maybe about 2 hours on the game. But as you can see, unfortunately we've only been provided about 30 minutes of our gameplay because we were only supposed to showcase what we are showcasing today and revealing today exclusively via the content creators. It's the Suchomimus, but a lot of us decided to do other things like build a really nice exhibit or a really nice intro to the park, which you'll see at the end of the video. But yes, this is one of the new maps. I think this is the Azores that we're building on currently, one of the sandbox maps, and the Suchomimus is confirmed. Now unfortunately it was leaked a few days ago, so we kind of had to speed up our process a little bit, which is very annoying, but nevertheless, you know, at least we got some gameplay of it, and today we are building a Suchomimus exhibit. Now you'll notice by now that there is no audio. I don't know why. When I was sent my footage, it seems like none of the audio actually recorded, so unfortunately you've just got my voice to listen to, and if editing me knows what to do, then we're going to go ahead and probably put some background music of some sorts. But yeah, again, as I said, the footage was trimmed out, so I actually had a bigger plan for this exhibit that involved the Baryonyx and the Spinosaurus as well. As you can see, I'm starting to lay down the foundations of it. And unfortunately, I didn't get access to that part of the footage. So my whole idea that I originally had planned in my head for this video has been completely scrapped, and my second idea has also been completely scrapped. So my backup idea, my third idea, is just me talking into the microphone. This is going to be raw and uncut as well, because it's nice for me to just look back at my footage, because you guys actually seemed to enjoy that when I did that last time out for my 3-hour gameplay that we did in London. So, you know, if you enjoy it, then heck, I'll go ahead and do it again. So yeah, we actually got invited down to Frontier's HQ in Cambridge. It was myself, Evolution Square, Best in Slot, the Gaming Beaver, the Lady Designer, and also Rudy Renkamal. I really hope I'm saying your last name correctly, Rudy. Renkamal, or Renkamel. I think it's Renkamal. But yes, all 6 of us got to go down to the HQ at Frontier. We got to meet loads of members working on the team, and my goodness, I have a bigger appreciation for how they create these games nowadays. Like, I kind of already did. I understood that, you know, making games isn't the easiest thing. It's not about just making things as easy as you want them to be. But when you actually see them working there and how many people work there as well, you kind of realize like, oh, damn, there's a lot of people working on this. So yeah, we got to actually sit down, we got to see some behind the scenes stuff that we'll hopefully be revealing in the next few days or something, which is very exciting. I'm sure the fans are going to love that. And also, then after that, what do we do after that? I think after that, they said, we're going to go to the secret cinema room. And we were all looking at each other like, what? What's the secret cinema room? Then we sat down and we got revealed the island generator for the first time. And that was all of our reactions if you saw the photo. But yes, that was a lot of fun. Then we came back to the room, and then we got to play Jurassic World Evolution 3 a little bit early, which was a lot of fun as well. We got revealed of basically all of the roster species. That's why a lot of our footage is cut, because we accidentally showed some species that haven't been revealed yet, so understandably a lot of this was cut. But yeah, back in Jurassic World Evolution 1, and I think I also did it in Evolution 2, I basically explained how is best to build a Spinosaurid exhibit, including Suchomimus, Baryonyx, and Spinosaurus. And that was kind of the whole concept with this idea as well. I wanted these 3 Spinosaurids to have a really nice enclosure that would kind of join onto each other's, but again, waterfalls got the better of me, as you can see here. Building waterfalls is actually like a lot easier than I thought it would be, because back when I was playing it in London for the first 3 hours, I thought it was very difficult to build waterfalls and very finicky, and I still think it is slightly finicky, but you can definitely do some really cool things as soon as you get used to the waterfalls and the terrain features and everything. As you can see, I built that way too high because I know the slope needed to be on maximum to make waterfalls, but it turns out you don't actually need the slope to be on maximum, as you'll find out a little bit later in this video, because I ended up building something really cool. I had the Gaming Beaver sat next to me whilst we were recording our gameplays, and I said, hey, look at this. It's like, how'd you do that? I was like, I don't know. I think it's just certain terrain levels. So instead of actually putting a massive slope like I did here, you can instead literally just do it from terrain levels. So I'm telling you right now, how to build waterfalls, it becomes a lot easier if you have your contour lines on. As soon as you can see your contour lines, then you can understand the terrain levels and how to build waterfalls a lot easier. Looking back, I really don't like this top layer. I really don't. I'm not really a big fan of it. But nevertheless, you know, it's one of my first times making waterfalls. Here it is. Look, I do this by mistake. And from this moment, that's when I sit there and realize, okay, waterfalls don't need to come from a very high level. They can come from a very small level, and you can essentially build some rapids, which is also really cool. But yeah, the terrain features in Jurassic World Evolution 3 are so much easier. They are literally so much easier. It's crazy. Because in Evolution 1, they weren't exactly the best, and then we got sand painting tools and all of that, which people went crazy for. Then in Evolution 2, they came as a standard, but then there were some finicky issues with it. But then for Evolution 3, we have more. Unfortunately, we can't use brushes or every type of brush on every type of map. Because as you can see, there's no snow option, but there is a snow brush in the game. So hopefully that will be updated later on. But either way, you can see earlier in the video when I was trying to build a swamp, there's an actual brush to use if you want to build a swamp. Like, you don't actually have to do it manually anymore, which is really, really cool. And essentially how it works is that it places down both water and shrubbery and all of that stuff, basically put together to make it look like a swamp. And if you want the swamp to be a little bit more dense, fun fact, you can actually go ahead and select one of the coverage tools, which I think just adds like trees and everything, and you can actually place that on top of this of the shrubbery in the swamp brush, if that makes sense. So, you know, making swamps is so much easier, and as soon as I realized that, that's when I was like, you know what, this is going to be perfect for the Suchomimus exhibit build. But yeah, I was inspecting this waterfall to see how can I make this waterfall look better, because at the moment it doesn't look too great. It really doesn't. But again, you know, this is I think this is the second time I played this game. So, you know, looking back on it now, considering that I do have access to the game right now, which I can't talk about, but I can say I have access, I was such a noob. I was such a noob. Like, looking at me trying to decorate the waterfalls and trying to get the waterfalls to work, you can tell that this is definitely one of my first times, because now let's just say I'm a lot better at making waterfalls, which is something that you guys, if you've been here on the channel for such a long time, I have been a very vocal advocate for both the island generator and waterfalls, so I'm very happy that both of them are added into Evolution 3. And I don't know, I feel like I'm going a bit too over the top sometimes when using waterfalls. I'm becoming a connoisseur for these type of things. So, you know, I'm happy. I'm excited to see the community get their hands on the game actually and see what they can actually build with waterfalls. Oh yeah, this was really cool. I remember you can use the paintbrush to paint on rocks now. I saw this big chunky rock kind of like filled that gap, and I was like, hell yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. But I wanted it to like blend in with the top, I think, and that's why I'm searching for some kind of rocks that match the similarity. These are kind of like underwater rocks, I think, is what, yeah, aquatic. So yeah, I was trying to see what I can and can't do, and you know, I was just playing around with the game, because again, this is one of our first times. And it was really funny because, you know, now, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to showcase the other stuff that we did do, such as like modular building in this gameplay. But I was sat in between Evolution Square and the Gaming Beaver, and I kept looking over to the Gaming Beaver. He's going crazy. He's doing like battle royales with babies and stuff like that, which was really funny. And then I was like, I kind of want to look over to Evolution Square and see what she's doing, but I know that she's just going to be building like some crazy ass building or something through modular pieces. And then at the end of the event, I said, hey, what did you build? You got to tell me. And she said she didn't build anything, and my jaw dropped. I was like, no, I wanted to see like the crazy architecture that she could build. So it was really funny, because we were both like, I think all of us actually were just so blown away by everything that you could do in Evolution 3, because I know loads of people are just going to say, hey, it's a DLC to Evolution 2. It's basically the second game but reskinned, because people said that about the second game for the first game as well. But, you know, actually, I understand why people said that for Evolution 2, but for Evolution 3, genuinely, after hours upon hours, I think I got like 30 hours on the game or something crazy like that now, I can tell you right now, this is a different game. Like, this is not the same game from Evolution 2. Like, sure, it has the same concept and a lot of the same features, but personally, a lot of this is different, and it actually makes you play the game a lot more. Like, there's one park that I've built, I've spent maybe like 2 hours on it, and I've only put down 2 species maximum. I'll probably end up showing you guys once the embargo lifts, but that just goes to show how much there really is to do. And, you know, for me personally, it's a lot harder because the community workshop isn't active for you guys, obviously, because the game isn't out yet. So it's really hard for me to just build stuff because I'm creative, but I can't physically do it. If that makes sense, it's very difficult. I know what I want to build, but I just can't do it with the modular pieces. So I can't wait for the community to finally get their hands on the game, because then that will make my life a lot easier. Because building parks, I love building parks, but modular pieces I stress out. However, as you guys know, if you were following me when I was covering a lot of Prehistoric Kingdom just before that released, I love building environments. I love it. So I've got a lot of environments to build, and this is just, that's one of my specialities, let's just say that. So a lot of the parks that I've built so far, I've basically just focused more on on modular pieces, but more focusing on the fact that they're environmental and not like buildings or whatnot. Oh yeah, there's this really big massive rock. Look at the size of this thing. Look at it, it's huge. I mean, I don't really know what people are going to do with it. Maybe you can sink it into the ground and make it more of a flat surface, but that thing is huge. It's big. And I'm really upset that there's no gameplay audio. Like, I'm sat here in silence, and it just feels very awkward because I know I'm not cutting out my talking, my speaking. So it feels like there's more of a awkward silence going on. But yeah, this little rapid section here, it was all by accidental, but it was so nice at the same time. And the thing is, you can see the contour lines, so you can see the ground level, then you can see a slightly one level above, 2 levels, and then 3 levels above, which I think is where the water's coming from on the 3rd or 4th level. But you can actually do it from the 1 level. So if you have like a flat plane, and then you go up 1 level with the contour lines, you can actually add water there as well, and make a little rapid section as well. So you don't need to make these massive, huge waterfalls that kind of look natural to some extent, but also don't look too natural. But you can also make these little rocky rapids, for example. So maybe that can give you some enclosure ideas later down the line. But you can see what I'm going for when it comes to the Suchomimus exhibit. So we're basically building a lot of this. We have the deep water because we know that Suchomimus can swim, and that's also because I genuinely thought that for the deep water you needed waterfalls, but you actually don't. You can do waterfalls via shallow water as well, so it's not a massive concern whatsoever. But yes, the swamp tool, big game changer. Here we are. I think I'm using it here. I can't tell. My my screen is very, very small, and I can't exactly tell what is and isn't being used right now. Let me see if I can try and make it bigger. Okay, I can make it slightly bigger. But yeah, so there's multiple tools to build swamps a lot easier. So building your Suchomimus, Spinosaurus, Baryonyx exhibit is going to be a lot easier. Maybe even Spinoraptor exhibit as well. So there's that. You can see it looks so much better as well. And you can see the distinct difference between the swamp water, the shallow water, and the deep water as well. Especially from bird's eye view. Here I am checking out a few other things because at this point I realized, hey, I'm pretty much done with my exhibit build. So I thought, I just want to explore and see what's already in the game and check it all out. And there's actually 2 innovation centers, which is pretty cool. I think I was talking to James about this as well, regarding the 2 innovation centers. But you can actually custom build your own innovation centers as well. You can see that there's an option there. What else was I trying to do? What was I trying to do here? Ah, yeah, so another thing that I had in mind. Why am I searching this, by the way? I should know where this is. I'm looking for the park entrance because I actually wanted to make a video of how to build a really nice park entrance as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't get around to doing that, but you do see the final build at the end of this video, so do stay tuned for that at least. You can't see everything exactly, but you can see enough. Also, I thought, I don't want to ruin the rapids and I don't want the dinosaurs to escape, so use this really cool fence, which is actually perfect for this situation because you can hide it amongst the rocks. But this does get rid of the... Yeah, it does. So that's the annoying thing. So you can paint rocks and everything, but they don't have collision. So keep that in mind. When you paint down rocks, none of them have collision. But if you place down rocks through the scenery tab, they can have collision. So that's what happened there. When I placed down the fence, all of the rocks just disappeared. That's because they're actually painted rocks and they aren't scenery rocks. So do keep that in mind when you are building stuff like that, because I can already see it. Somebody might paint a massive rock and think that it's going to keep your dinosaurs intact, but it's not going to keep them in the enclosure. But yeah, this was probably the best way I could do this. I think other than that, yeah, here we go. We go to Go down, Swerve. Go up. There you go. There's rocks. And then I find the right rocks, I think for the right color. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. It's not that one. This one? Maybe this one. Maybe this one. But yeah, you can just hide the fences after you place them down as well, which just makes life so much easier. And since these rocks do have collision, they also act as fences too. So it's not a big worry, not a big concern. And again, you can literally just use the invisible fence and then put tiny rocks on top of the invisible fence just to make stuff look a little bit more natural. Although, you know, after years of playing Evolution 1 and Evolution 2, looking at that opening does make me concerned that maybe these dinosaurs can walk out, but I have to keep telling myself they don't. Because I remember in my 3-hour gameplay footage, I think on the Montana sandbox mode map that we were playing, I was basically sky view, bird's eye view at that point. And I thought all of my dinosaurs escaped, but actually the whole barrier for my dinosaurs was just natural. It was a natural barrier. There weren't any fences. So I was a little bit worried about dinosaurs escaping. And I think that's just the Jurassic World Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution 2 effect going on. Yeah, so this is where I close off the Sucho exhibit, and to the right I actually built a really nice exhibit for the Spinosaurus and Baryonyx as well. I don't know if it's shown in this gameplay because I did skip through the gameplay because I just wanted to record my first reactions to watching back my gameplay for the first time. But after I saw that it was 26 minutes and not like 2 hours or something, that's when I was like, oh, okay, that's it's a bit much. I'm losing quite a lot here. So, but yeah, 26 minutes is still a good amount. And after all, you do eventually get to see the Suchomimus. I promise. But a lot of this is just exhibit building at this point in time. Because the nature, you can build a lot of nature. I'm really appreciative for something like that. Like, I really... Like, for Evolution 1, I think I did it personally. I don't think I made videos on it. But then for Evolution 2, I made a Site B mode, and we'll probably be doing that for Evolution 3 as well. But people loved the Site B mode because of all of the natural stuff that you could do when building your islands. Like, not even just exhibits, but building your islands. Here's the swamp tool, the wetland tool. It just looks so much better. So much better. But yeah, the naturalistic scenery that you can build in this game is far and beyond. It's fantastic. What's I doing here? Arrival point. Did I start? Oh no, I'm checking out the arrival points. And this is a really cool one as well. Like, you have like bus stops and everything. Don't exactly know how that would work. I don't know how you would drive onto the island. But nevertheless, you know, you can build a bus stop for aesthetic purposes, which is also really cool. I was just checking out the custom modular builds, or at least I think these are the base game modular builds. So what you have is the arrival point appearance, which is on screen here. Those are going to be like the base game stuff. So everyone who has access to the game will have access to these. And then the community creations will be below, where Jurassic World Evolution's official channel or account, whatever you want to call it, have already made some stuff. And that's where I've already made some stuff, and some other content creators have placed some stuff as well. So you guys will also be able to place some stuff there as well. So if you want like an extra community creation, maybe you don't like the arrival points they have, maybe somebody's built a better arrival point. Hint, hint, maybe I have. So you can go ahead and place down other arrival points to kind of just stay on the aesthetic. But one thing that does like irritate me just a little bit, Frontier, if you are watching this, please let us have more than one arrival point in the islands, especially on Sandbox at least, because Jurassic Park Operation Genesis definitely did that, and I remember how cool it was that I could have an entrance on one side of the island and then another entrance on the other side of the island. And if I don't want to have all of my park connected via paths, then I can just have different entrances on different sides of the island as well. So I think that also helped disperse the population of the island, because I know around the entrances there were loads and loads of people. And it was just getting too crowded, for example, so it was very difficult to disperse them. So maybe one helicopter will arrive at entrance point 1, and then another helicopter will later arrive at entrance points 2, and then 3, and then so on. So, you know, having the ability to place down multiple arrival points, honestly, I think would be a game changer, especially for naturalistic sandbox builds, because you don't want just one area where they go and they come back and they go and they come back, you know, because that just becomes a little bit much. But here's the Suchomimus for the first time in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I know a lot of people were concerned about the Suchomimus not returning, and then of course the preload for Steam happened and you can see the files and everything, and people saw the Suchomimus. So that was the reveal. But this is the first time we're seeing a Suchomimus. I don't think much has changed. I still can't tell the difference between the males and the females, unfortunately. So, you know, if you can find a difference, then feel free to let me know. But I know Jurassic Souls out there certainly is going to be a happy chap today, because he's going to be checking out the Suchomimus gameplay from all 6 of us creators. Talking of Suchomimus, here it is for the first time in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I really wish you could hear the release sound, but unfortunately you can't. So I'm going to see what I have to do. Maybe I'll just put some Jurassic World Evolution content over the top. I don't think anybody actually talks, like Isaac Clement or whatnot. No, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, we're not really missing out too much. But the wetland, you can see, actually responds to the dinosaur footprint. So they splash water up into the sky. So it's literally not just a paintbrush, which is awesome. It's actually got some level of detail there. Just going to sip some water real quick whilst you guys take it all in and enjoy the Suchomimus. Again, I still can't tell the difference between the males and the females. Also, at this point, I think I realized that it was kind of a bit too large. There was a cut there. I'm not too sure what the cut was for, but there was a cut there. You can see the social interaction between the Suchos. But yes, I think I realized that it was just a bit too large, the exhibit for the Suchomimus, which I think I ended up making a lot smaller and then building a Baryonyx and Spinosaurus exhibit. Also, I placed down a nested egg, or an egg area, and I think I put down the large one because obviously I thought Suchomimus is a large carnivore. But the issue is, even if the dinosaur is the size or like small enough to use the bigger ones, they will not use the bigger ones. So I was talking to Game and Beaver about this, and he kind of explained it to me and how it works, and essentially confirmed that you cannot have a small herbivore, for example, nesting in a large nest. So you do have to keep track of what dinosaur is considered large, medium, or small. And I think Suchomimus is considered medium. So I placed down a large nest, thinking that a medium dinosaur can use the large nest, but it couldn't. Okay, here's the exhibit. This is the Spino and Barry exhibit that I also built. And for some reason, my Baryonyx wasn't releasing. This is a beta build, so if you do see any bugs, they won't be at launch, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, I was going crazy with the waterfalls, as you can see. I love them. I love them so much. I spent ages working on this specific waterfall design, and I think it's probably my favorite waterfall design as well. I have designed some others, but that one's definitely my favorite. Yeah, overall, Jurassic World Evolution 3, it's definitely different. Like, for people saying it's just a reskin of Jurassic World Evolution 2, from an aesthetic purpose and, you know, looking at it from an outside perspective, I can see what you're trying to say. But after I have played hours on this game, I can promise you this is certainly a different game. It feels so much different. It feels so much better. It doesn't feel as clunky as Jurassic World Evolution 2, and the terrain constraints aren't really there anymore, which I think was really holding back the last 2 games. So that's really nice, and you can take my word for it, I promise. Here's the Suchomimus in the foliage. Yeah, I was trying to work out how to breed the Suchos, because I'm like, hold on, they're fine, they can breed. Like, what's the issue? Why aren't they breeding? Or is the Suchomimus large and I put down a medium nest? Because that doesn't look like a large nest to me. Do I click on the nest? I can't remember. Here's the Spinosaur and Baryonyx. So I was kind of building like a Spinosaurid exhibit here. So, yeah. I'm running out of things to say. There's only 3 more minutes left. I'm just trying to hold on right now. But yeah, building waterfalls is definitely going to be a big deal. I'm sure people are going to find out other ways to use it. One thing that I did notice is that there is a height limit on the waterfalls. So let's say you're 50, this is all hypothetical, this isn't official, but if you're 50 contour lines above the ground level, then unfortunately you won't be able to have a waterfall there. You have to make it lower, if that makes sense. Again, I couldn't figure out the breeding process of why these dinosaurs weren't breeding. They were all hanging out here, which I thought was really cool. Maybe a thumbnail opportunity as well. Is it a thumbnail opportunity? I'm really annoyed about how I built this as well. Like the area that I placed the waterfall in initially, like it's backlit by the sun, so I couldn't get a nice photo of it. But here's basically the park entrance that I was building this whole time. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see me build the park entrance. But this is the park entrance nonetheless. Again, going crazy with the waterfalls. There's some prefabs in there as well. I don't think I really did much modular building because, you know, I couldn't work it out. And again, I didn't really know how much time we would be playing on this day, so I didn't really want to take the piss and, you know, basically just tried to only build Suchomimus because I thought we were going to do like 30 minutes and then that was it. But we ended up getting like 2 to 3 hours or something crazy like that. So I thought, okay, I've built a Suchomimus stuff. Let's just go and make some other videos. But we haven't got the footage for that. But here it is. Here's the aftermath of everything. You can see how awesome it looks and how good it looks and all of that jazz. You can take some inspiration and all of that as well. But I think this is pretty much where the video is wrapping up. So there's not too much to say. Suchomimus is revealed. It is confirmed. You can build really nice swamps very comfortably as well. Here's a nice look at a possible park entrance. I can't tell. Ah, there it is. Right in the middle of the screen is the helipad landing for the park entrance. And then you obviously have a prefab on the right hand side as well, and you can see a guest also walking on the right hand side. But overall, Jurassic World Evolution 3 feels so much different, so much better to Jurassic World Evolution 2, and I can't wait to see what people do build with this, because again, I am very creative, I just can't physically build anything. So there's that. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, go ahead and leave a like. Let me know what you thought of Jurassic World Evolution 3's gameplay so far, and are you excited to see the Suchomimus finally return in this game? Because a lot of people were concerned it wasn't releasing, but now we do have it released. I'm sure other creators have posted the babies of the Suchomimus, so go ahead and check out those videos as well, because all of us will be uploading this video at the same time. But from me, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned on the channel by subscribing, and make sure you all stay safe out there. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.